Welcome to Business is Good, the podcast all about what it means to be in business in the 21st century. Small and medium-sized businesses are the lifeblood of the UK economy, and globally they can and will have a huge impact on society, the economy and how we live our lives. From technology disruption to reworking a solution to solve the world's biggest problem, Business is Good is a podcast about what it takes to be successful and how every business defines that in different ways. Business is no longer just about being defined by what you do, but it's about giving back and redefining the problems and how we solve them in a way that works for you. I'm your host, Caroline Sumners, and I'll be giving you weekly inspirational stories from business owners who are building business and solving problems. This week, I'm talking to Nadia Sidebottom from Moo Moo and Bear. Now, Moo Moo and Bear is a dog, collar and accessories company based up in Derbyshire. Nadia and I, as you will hear, have a shared passion for all things miniature schnauzer. Her two mini schnauzers, Moo Moo and Bear, who are the company is named after, and my miniature schnauzer, Rufus. What I love about this episode is that it shows that no matter what type of business you want to run, you can give back in whichever way works for you. And the story behind how much time and money and effort Nadia has donated to a cause that is close to both of us' hearts, Schnauzer Fest, is a really interesting one. So enjoy this, and apologies in advance for all the talk about the fur babies.
My name's Nadia. I run an online business called Moo Moo and Bear. We make handmade dog collars and accessories, something that you can't find on the high street, to add a little bit of style to your dog.
And do you hand make them, or?
I hand make everything myself. Yeah, there is me as part of the team and my two schnauzers, which don't do the sewing.
And what do the schnauzers actually do for you?
Oh, the schnauzers have very important roles in the business. They keep, as MD and CEO, they're clearly, they've got important jobs. They're my models. They're my inspiration. They're what people want to see. They just keep me going every day, make me want to work. Yeah, and they're usually by my feet while I am working.
Yeah, it's fabulous. When did you start the business?
I started back in 2015, so just over 4 years ago now. It started as a bit of a hobby and has grown to something that I really didn't expect to happen.
What's happened then? What's that? What is that? What you didn't expect to happen?
We've grown. I've gone from saying, "Oh, I've got an order from a friend," to we've got so many orders, we don't know what to do now. We've increased our business to a website, to other sales areas, to stalls. It's something I never expected to happen in a million years, and I'm going with it.
That's brilliant. So did you have another job when you started, or?
No, I've been a mum for, now my eldest is 20. So I haven't particularly worked full-time since having children. I have worked part-time, have had my own business in the past, but it's always been something that my children have been my priority, and they've always been part-time businesses. So this was along the same lines. It was just going to be something to keep me busy.
And that it definitely does.
Most certainly.
So tell us a bit about, because one of the things that you do as part of your business, as well as making accessories for the lovely dogs, has to be said that the collars and leads are not just for miniature schnauzers, although
they're not.
We do both have miniature schnauzers, and so we feel that they are
Yes, we can
one.
we can go there. We can go there.
So what else but part of that is that you give quite a lot of money and time and effort over to a charity called Schnauzerfest. Is that right?
I do, yes. The charity itself is Debark, which is the Diana Brimble Animal Rescue Centre based in Reading. And there's a lady there, there's a lady who got a schnauzer from there several years ago called Janetta Harvey, and she set up Schnauzerfest, which raises funds on behalf of Debark, the charity. Having a schnauzer, you become involved in all things schnauzer, however that may be, from schnauzer walks to all sorts of things. And Schnauzer Fest came on my list of things as being highlighted. I went to my first Schnauzer Fest walk when Lola Moo was... she'll have been nearly 18 months old, because the first year I just felt she was too young to go on a big walk. And it was something I wanted to start making for. My business was actually set up in part to sell Schnauzerfest corsages, little flowers that I made in bright orange as a token for everybody to wear on the Schnauzerfest walks. And it's gone from there. I needed somewhere to sell them instead of just going to our local walk. There were walks all over the country, and I needed to sell them more than just locally. And so set up a Facebook page, and the rest, as they say, is history.
It's gone on from there. So you're now inundated with orders for special goods and special versions that you do for Schnauzerfest?
Yeah, I started with the felt flowers, which have always been and will always be one of my best sellers, whether it's Schnauzerfest or other colours. And I then went on to make bandanas. Then I decided to start designing my own fabric for Schnauzerfest, with kind permission from them to use their logo, so that we had a face, we had some branding. And the range has gone on as my business has grown to include collars, leads, bandanas, flowers. This year we've got key fobs, and we've also got dog tags. I'd love to do more, but there's only so many hours in the day.
Yeah, exactly. So how much money have you raised so far? So what do you give a certain percentage of orders or the money from the Schnauzerfest, or is it from your whole business, or is it just from the Schnauzer?
It's just from Schnauzerfest. I donate 20% from each Schnauzerfest item that I make. It goes into the pot every year. To date, I know this year I've already donated, or I will do because I'm not being online, £1,600, which is a massive amount for someone who works in a spare room.
It's a massive amount for someone, yeah, exactly. And for fairly low cost items as well.
Yeah.
Because it's not, it's not like they're £100 items, is it? But
the demand is massive for Schnauzerfest. The support is amazing. It comes from all over the world, and it's just wonderful to see that people want to support and give some money and tell people about the plight of Schnauzerfest.
So, do you think that because people maybe get to know you because of Schnauzerfest, that has helped your main business grow more as a result, do you think?
Oh, I think so, yes. It was only through Schnauzers that my page ever opened to in the first place. It has developed since then. We do for all breeds now. But you do see on some of the groups, I'm still getting recommended by Schnauzer owners, and a lot of the comments are that they do so much for Schnauzerfest, which is fantastic.
That is fantastic, especially when it's just you and you've got 2 dogs, yeah?
Yes.
Especially when it's just you and your 2 helpers.
That's right, yes.
And
a very busy sewing machine.
As we both know, they're not the most helpful sometimes.
They're not, no.
Oh, so what made you, why is it so important to you that you got involved with Schnauzerfest?
I've always been somebody that gives back. I have throughout my life. As a teenager, I used to volunteer a lot, and it's something I've always done. And I've always found a portal at a certain point in my life to give back. And at this moment in time, having schnauzers, it was never even a question. You look at the ethics of Schnauzerfest, you look at the background, you look at how they educate others about puppy farming, and it wasn't really a question I needed to consider.
Yeah, you just was like, it was the natural thing for you to do. No, that's really good. So have you had, what's the main challenge you have with running your business?
There aren't 8 or 9 or maybe 14 days in a week. I already do on a normal week. Now I'm up to about 60 hours a week making, which is pretty tough. And I have so many ideas in my head, but there's just not enough time to do them or to meet the demand that I would like to supply to.
So do you think that there's ever a time then you'll employ someone or you'll get someone to help you, or is that just not what you want to do?
It is somewhere I want to, I'm starting to now consider. My husband wants me to move out of the spare rooms and into a shed in the garden. It would be a nice shed. Might have an orange wall for Schnauzerfest. But it's something that it's very difficult when it's your baby and you've created every single piece to then try and hand some of that over to somebody else. It's a really difficult one, but it's somewhere I know I need to go.
Yeah. So what do you think is holding you back from doing that then? Is it fear? Is it, is there something or?
It's a bit of everything really. It's scary employing somebody. It's scary employing them in your own home. Have I got the room to do that? Or do I employ a seamstress who's local? It's scary not being able to put my ownership on my products. I know hand on heart that every stitch has love in it because I make everything. There's lots of scary things about running a business that's expanding. Yeah. And I'm not sure I'm ready for it yet.
Yeah, it is hard. I mean, my business is just me on my own, and every now and then I think, right, I need to employ someone, and I just hire different, subcontractors or whatever here, there, and everywhere, and do it like that. So it is hard. I get what you're talking about. So have you got any particular highlights of, running your business that you think it makes, I know obviously just having the Schnauzerfest element to it is like really important, but is there any particular highlights where you thought, that's why I do this, when you've made your millionth collar of the week or whatever?
Always a highlight for me, and I don't think it will ever go, is having a repeat customer. It's so important. Anybody can buy from anybody, and yes, you've got a sale, woohoo, but actually what you want is somebody to come back to you after having that first initial sale and coming back time and time again. They're my highlights. I know I'm doing something right that other people love, and I'm so grateful for that.
I think that's amazing, because small businesses sometimes kind of think, you've got to be more like a big business. And actually, but I think in this case, big businesses need to think more like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Sometimes it's like, you feel like the big businesses don't really even care if they get you back as a customer or they keep you as a customer. So
absolutely,
I think that's a really great answer to that question, actually.
It's not the funds. I'm not in it for the money. I'm in it because I like doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But to get recognition for what I do by having people buy again from me, that's fantastic.
Well, Rufus is the proud owner of at least 2 collars, which he models.
Just 2?
Just 2. He's actually looking a bit porky. I think he needs the next size up. So I was going to get the superhuman, the super dog.
Super
one.
dog, yeah.
I see you've run out. I didn't do it in time.
Yeah, I've still got the collars and the accessories, just no leads. I can't get hold of any more fabric.
Oh no, missed out.
But it was fabulous. But I'll look for more. Don't worry. I'll look for something else that's just as good.
That's good. So, let me have a look. What questions have I got? So you've told me what the story is behind your business. So were you already a seamstress? Did you already make things, or did you just sort of suddenly go, I'm gonna make collars?
Well, I started with the felt flowers, which don't require much sewing at all. I just hand sew the elastic at the back. And would you believe it, that literally it's come up on my memories on my phone. Just over 4 years ago, I purchased my first ever sewing machine. I was somebody in school that was miss, I've gone wrong. And I'd never sewn in my life before. And I had to watch the video of the Chinese lady threading the sewing machine and using it because I had no idea what to do with it. So I'm totally self-taught and I'm really proud of that. And now I have a beast of a machine upstairs, an industrial machine, but again, I've self-taught myself how to use it. But yeah, I was not a seamstress.
That's amazing, because I thought you were going to say, I used to make clothes, I did all of this, and then I got the dogs and I got to hear about Schnauzer Fest, so I thought, I'll get involved with that. I had no idea that you were going to say, I'd never sewn in my life.
I'd never, ever sewn, apart from at school, under the teacher's guidance. No, I'd never sewn. But something that I am is I always have been creative. I've always been in the arts. And I'm one for making sure that everything that goes out is absolutely perfect and something that I would use. And that's something that doesn't matter what you do in life, if you can do it to a perfect end, that's what matters.
So what made you then suddenly think, I know you said you started with the corsages, but what made you suddenly think, I know, I'm going to start a business and I'm going to buy a sewing machine and I'm going to do all these things? Because there's a lot of people that think about it but don't actually do it. So what made you just think, I'll buy a sewing machine and start?
Well, it was probably customer demand asking for things. And it then develops as you start a business. As soon as you become a business, I think you have to have a head of what comes next. What should we do? And it's planning for the future. And that's where the business grew. It grew through demand. It grew through creating different products. I've now streamlined my products to have 7, I think, different items available in a coordinated range. But it was something that, as a business, you are going to grow through your customer base and through your products.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, I totally get that. It's just, a lot of people would go, no, I don't know how to sew. They might think, I'll buy it in and resell it or something. But obviously something in you was like, I'm going to just make it myself.
I'm quite a determined gal, really. Yeah, I will make it work, even if I didn't know how to. There's been a lot of frustrations along the way, but I'm proud of those frustrations because it's made me who I am today and what I do today.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I love it. So is there anything that, before you started the business, is there anything, you're how many years in? 4 years in?
4 years.
4 years in. When you think back to 4 years ago, when you naively thought, I'll buy a sewing machine and I'll just do this, is there anything you wish you'd known then that you know now, or...
No, because I think everything that I know now, I have, and proudly can say, I've self-taught myself. I've self-taught myself to market my business. I've created a website by myself. I've managed to do everything. I've designed, I've sized, I've priced. And that's something that you learn along the way. And if somebody gives you those things, then you're not learning.
Yeah.
I think it is better to learn along the way and learn with it as you go. I'm still learning today on how to make things, you know.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant. So you said that you sort of you do everything yourself in your business, in website, accounting. Do you do absolutely everything? So this is kind of like what
everything. Yeah,
it's like what hundreds and thousands of small businesses in this country do. So
yes, and hats off to all of them, because they may be talented in making, but they've still got to do the books and the marketing, and you do become, you know, knowledgeable in a lot of areas that you didn't expect to be.
So what have you found most challenging of all those things? I know what mine is. Mine's accounting.
Yeah, I would say probably keeping up with my books is, it's just time again, isn't it?
Yeah.
The challenge probably is the time to get all of this done. I'm in more of a pattern now. So Friday mornings or Saturday mornings, both my husband and I sit down and do our books.
Yeah,
and try and do that, but it doesn't happen. Life gets in the way.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, exactly. So do you actually? You mentioned that Schnauzerfest is for a particular rescue. I think it's in Wokingham, isn't it, or near Wokingham?
Yes. Yeah.
Debark. Have you been down there? Have you?
I have. I go every year to their fun day. Unfortunately, it's a 220-mile journey down.
Yeah.
So it's over 400 miles for me round trip. So I don't get to go anymore, but I do go down for their fun day, which I've done for the last possibly probably 3 years.
Yeah.
It's a great day. I was a bit overwhelmed this year that so many of my customers are locally based, or not even locally based. They'd even travelled and stayed in hotels to go to support Debark and Schnauzerfest, which is fantastic.
I mean, to be honest, for any sort of business, it's to me, Schnauzerfest and Debark is a lesson in how you build a community.
Yes.
Of absolutely, people will spend money on whatever you produce, or whether it's donation or whatever. It's the perfect example of building a community around a quite niche interest.
Yes, yeah.
Isn't it?
If they can't make, they'll donate. If they can make, they'll make. If they've got a skill to offer to Schnauzerfest, they will offer the skill.
Yeah.
And that's what makes Schnauzerfest so unique and so special, is that it's a collaboration of lots of people wanting to do what's right.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've hosted a walk before, but I don't have any.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah, I hosted.
Well, there you are. You're helping.
Yeah. So I hosted. Rufus and I hosted the last 2 years of Southsea Schnauzerfest, but we're not able to do it this year. So, but someone else is thankfully doing it. So, but we'll probably be back next year. But he gets so overwhelmed with it. There's too many.
Does he?
Yeah,
there's too many schnauzers.
Yeah, he doesn't know what he's doing. He's like all over the place. He goes a bit crazy. So, or not actually. He just doesn't become his normal. I don't know. He just sort of hangs back with me. He doesn't want to be involved with all the other dogs. It's really weird.
You see, both my girls love their schnauzer walks. Absolutely love them. So do I, to be fair.
I mean, I love going, although when I organise it, I don't enjoy it so much. So
no.
But he goes really weird. He just sort of hangs back and he doesn't want to get involved. So I don't know. Maybe he's picking up on the fact that I'm stressed about it.
Possibly, yes, yeah.
So where's your local walk?
My local walk is in Leeds. I've hosted for the last 3 years. Possibly. Yeah. I've been on 4 years worth of walks, and it will be in Leeds. At a park that we've just been to for a memorial walk for a member of our group who also supported Schnauzerfest. It's just a great place, big wide open space to have a good old romp.
Oh,
that's probably
good.
The wrong thing to say.
No, not at all. Not at all. So do you think that you're going to keep doing this and keep creating all the accessories and everything?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, Moo Moo and Bear is now synonymous with Schnauzer and it's something that my heart belongs to. I'll always support in some way, shape, or form. Yes.
Yeah. So why is I know it's Moo Moo and Bear because one of your dogs is called Moo Moo, right?
Yeah.
Lola Moo Moo.
Lola Moo Moo, yes.
And is the other dog called Bear or?
She's called Mini Bear, yes.
Oh, okay.
We had to rebrand the business. I was Little Lady at one point because I had a little lady. Lola was my little lady. And Mini Bear came along, and Mini Bear is certainly no lady. And it was, my business needed a new direction, just a new focus. So we rebranded as Moo Moo and Bear, named after both of my dogs, and it was the best thing I ever did.
Yeah. I mean, do you know of that business, Sweet William?
Yes,
Sweet William. Yeah. And obviously that was named after their dog, didn't they?
It was, yes.
Which they sadly lost.
Yes, just recently, wasn't it?
Yeah, just recently. And I noticed that they've now got a new
have they?
Beaver, yes. So, I mean, I guess that's one of the challenges, isn't it? Because the reality of a dog owner is that,
the business may last longer than the dogs, yeah.
Yeah, which is obviously not something you like to think of, but it shows that when you've got such power and community behind it, that they can continue on with that brand. Absolutely. And that name. Yes. So, and that's obviously the same, you're building such a business that's synonymous with the Schnauzers.
Absolutely.
And the Schnauzer Fest and us crazy people. That's perfect, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
I think it's so good what you do especially when you're one person, like you say, and you clearly put so much into just doing all the work for Schnauzer Fest. I think it's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah. It is hard work. And by October, I'm a little bit fed up of seeing orange, but it's...
Have you started yet on this year's?
Oh, yes. Yeah, we started very early this year. I think April was our first launch. I usually start it at Debark Fun Day in July. So we've started already this year. This month I'm having a holiday. So we've got a month off from orange and back on it in August. Yeah.
Okay. That sounds great. All right, cool. All right, well, thank you. You can stop stressing, and then people will know all about Schnauzer Fest and
thank you,
and Moo Moo and Bear.
Well, I hope I came across okay.
Oh, you will. You definitely will.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably get edited down to about 20 minutes. I think
that's fine.
Each one's going to be about 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
Depending. The one I did this morning, he talked a lot, so it may be that ends up, a lot longer. Yes. But I don't know, that it will just be different ones. But I will keep you in the up to date. Now, I need a photo. So it can either be of you, or it can either be of you and the girls, or it can just be of the girls. It's up to you.
Oh,
I think it should be of you. I was going to say it should be of you and the girls.
The girls. I don't have many of those, but I can find one for you and send it to you, or in the next couple of days, I can get one of my sons to take a photo.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be immediately. You can probably do it when you come back from holiday. When are you going on holiday?
Go on Saturday.
Oh, it can be after you come back from holiday. Don't worry. Don't stress. Right, okay. Don't stress. I just will need it eventually. So, and I knew that you were going to say you'd just send it of the girls. So that's why I said.
Well, no, there's a photo of me and the girls that does the rounds once a year, probably, just before the annual Schnauzer Walk or just before Debark, just to say, hello, this is us. You know, come and see us if you can see us. Because the problem with an online business is that you don't get to meet people.
No.
And you don't know, especially with the social media aspect, you've no idea what people look like. It's usually a picture of the Schnauzer, and once you've seen one, you've seen quite a few. So I always post a photo of me before going on the annual Schnauzer Walk.
Yeah.
So that people can recognise, that most people recognise the dogs. the dogs were walking up the hill this year, and somebody said, "Oh my God, that's Moo Moo and Bear."
See? They're famous. I know.
Yeah.
People talk to me in the street only because they know Rufus, not because they actually know me.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's Rufus. Oh,
yes.
it's the human.
Yeah.
It suits the schnauzers though, because they think that they're in charge. So.
Well, they are really, aren't they? Yeah.
I wanted to come to Debark Fun Day, but it was so hot. Rufus doesn't do well in the hot weather.
Yeah, it got really warm in the afternoon.
So I decided not to come, but I really wanted to come this year. But just when I saw how hot it was, I was just like, he was sitting there panting at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Was he? Yeah.
No point.
Yeah.
There's no
so
point.
Where are you based?
I'm on the south coast. I'm in Portsmouth.
Oh, goodness.
So I'm not that far,
really. You're not far, no.
I was born in Wokingham, randomly.
Oh, were you?
So, yeah, exactly. So obviously a long time ago, but long time ago. But I wanted to come. It's about an hour and 20 minutes for me. So
all right, okay.
It was so hot. I just thought, no, we can't do it.
Yes, yeah.
Never mind.
No, it was. It wasn't as warm as last year, but it was. Yeah, it was warm.
Well done. As I say, I'm so annoyed.
Thank you.
I missed out on the. I could get him a collar, but I like to have it matching.
Oh God, yeah. No, I like matchy. It's got to be matchy.
Yeah. Oh, I've missed out on that then. Hopefully you can next time I must know to order.
Oh, yeah. I mean, my stock, I'm ordering more fabric now per design, and it's still selling out quicker than it used to do, and it becomes, how much fabric do I order? That's a difficult one, but
I mean, how much do you have? How much do you order? What is
shall I tell you, Schnauzer Fest, I've ordered 40 meters, and I probably need another 20. That's 60 meters of fabric.
And how much goes into a collar or a lead?
Depends on, so a collar's 50, so medium. Rufus is a medium. He'd be 55 centimetres of fabric goes into a collar.
And you've had 60 metres of fabric?
I've had 40 metres so far, yeah. And I have got a carrier bag, like a Tesco's carrier bag, that would probably only be half full of scraps that I can't use. So every little bit gets used. But yeah, 40 metres so far.
That's amazing.
It's crackers. It's crackers. I usually I order, if I'm doing normal products, I'm now up to about 3 meters. I usually order, but I could go up to about 5 meters now.
Oh my goodness! So that shows the difference of how much you're doing for Schnauzer Fest then.
Yeah.
If you do 3 to 5 meters on a normal run,
of a product that can stay in my website for. Some are only a few weeks, some are 6 months. But yeah, Schnauzer Fest is 40 metres. It's a massive amount of fabric. Massive amount.
And you sell out of that every year?
Yes. Well, I work towards, so
I've got to order, right?
I've got a couple of metres left for August to make, but I've only got August and September to make for. So I need to order some more, but I'll only order enough to last me. Yeah. So that I design a new one for next year, basically.
Because you have that printed yourself, yeah?
Yes, yeah.
That's amazing. So not only are you making all of the bits and pieces, but you're actually printing a fabric as well.
Well, somebody else is printing it.
Yeah, but
I'm designing it, yeah. And that's the hard bit is designing, because I'm not a computer literate sort of person. So designing, even the logo is already there, but it's still hard getting it into a pattern and making sure that pattern works for a collar, that pattern works for this, that's it's pretty tough. For me, that's quite hard.
I think that's brilliant. It just shows the extra mile that you're going with it as well. You're not just getting a piece of orange fabric and selling it. You're doing all of that as well.
Yeah. There's a lot of hard work that goes into it. a lot of hard work.
Well, we shall get... Rivers deserves a new Schnauzer Fest one this year. He's had his a couple of years, so he needs a new one. So I better get on.
It's wearing vintage, you see now. That's what it is. It's wearing vintage.
It's very stylish pooch. Well, I hope you enjoyed that episode with Nadia. If you want to check out anything about Schnauzer Fest, then you can do so on both Facebook and on Instagram. They've got their own profiles there. It's a really worthy cause that really gives money and highlights the issues around puppy farming. Or if you want to pop along to one of the walks, then of course do that. Of course, although it's called Schnauzer Fest, all dogs are welcome and all humans are welcome. That's it for this week from the Business is Good podcast. Tune in next time where we'll have another inspiring business story.